Oh shit, here we go again.
Hello everyone. So today we're going to be talking about a character who was married to Warrior Woman, who was a Nazi, and was one of Hitler's most favorite people in the Nazi war. And of course, we're talking about Masterman. Now, to start off with, Masterman is more of a title than an actual person. Different artists gave him such drastic changes over the years, along with their own storylines and names. They basically rebooted the character almost entirely, 3 separate times. We'll talk about all 3, but our main focus will be on the original, Willy Lohmer. His first appearance was in Giant Size The Invaders #1 of June 1975 and was created by Roy Thomas and Frank Robbins. The second version, Axel Nacht, first appears in Namer the Submariner #11, February 1991, and was created by John Byrne. The third version, Max Lohmer, debuts in Captain America #18, July 2006, and was created by Ed Brubaker and Steve Epting. Now, Wilhelm Willy Lohmer, like Captain America, is portrayed as a physically frail human being for most of his life until given a experimental super soldier serum. Being that he is an American hater and a Nazi sympathizer, Lohmer agrees to be a guinea pig in an experiment in which he is given the Nazi version of Captain America's original super soldier serum. With the serum seemingly being a success, Lohmer had physical abilities possibly even exceeding those of Captain America. The character is given a costume and the alias Masterman, with Lohmer to be the first of a new Aryan master race. Willy became a favorite of Adolf Hitler and he participated in many Nazi campaigns. Most of the time, however, his prime adversary was Captain America and the Invaders. The first time Masterman met Steve Rogers was in Wakanda, where he was a member of the Red Skull's invasion force, who, at the time, were attempting to steal vibranium for the Nazi cause. Masterman was seemingly killed in battle by the Black Panther during the attack, although later it is found that he somehow survived. Now later on, Hitler decided that Masterman and a similar Nazi agent, Warrior Woman, would be married, and Lohmer readily agreed. He thought it would be good public relations for their war effort. Warrior Woman thought Masterman was an a-hole and an idiot, but at Hitler's command, she reluctantly agreed to marry Lohmer. After the wedding ceremony, Hitler was going to execute the invaders, who Masterman and Warrior Woman had just recently captured, but the ceremony was disrupted when they escaped. Even though Hitler himself proclaimed Masterman and Warrior Woman to be man and wife, they still were never really legally married, as they never even got to their wedding vows. Now, near the end of the war, Masterman and Warrior Woman were placed in suspended animation in separate secret laboratories within the city. Baron Strucker knew that Hitler's regime would eventually fall, so he thought of a way for the 2 greatest Nazi warriors to be preserved, ensuring that, quote, the dream would be reborn in the future. When Baron Strucker's funding runs out, Herr Nach takes over the financing of Masterman and Warrior Woman's preservation. Herr Nach's father was involved in the project from the beginning, over 40 years ago. Over those years, the project was technically managed by Dr. Krauss, a German scientist whose life had been saved by Herr Nach's father. Now, with Germany once again unified, Herr Nach decided it was time to wake up the 2 sleeping supers. Now, because of Masterman's preservation unit was hidden on the west side of Berlin before the war ended, he was continually monitored by Dr. Krauss and was easily revived. Now, on the other hand, Warrior Woman was secured on the east side of Berlin and was separated when the Berlin Wall was erected. Even though automated machines kept her in suspended animation, Dr. Krauss believed that she would probably have brain damage when awakened. Now, Master Man was willing to take the risk and threatened the doctor if he did not successfully revive her. In order to ensure success, Dr. Kraus gave Warrior Woman a transfusion of artificial blood from the android Human Torch, who had recently been kidnapped by Kraus's thugs. While Dr. Kraus was reviving Warrior Woman, Namor, the Submariner, broke into the lab and started a fight with Master Man, intent on rescuing the Human Torch. Now, Namor was about to defeat Master Man, but he was knocked unconscious by Warrior Woman, who had been successfully revived. Namor was placed in a containment device in the laboratory, and Dr. Kraus took Master Man and Warrior Woman to meet their mysterious benefactor, Herr Nacht, who revealed his plans to establish himself as the new leader of the New Reich. The meeting was interrupted after Namor broke free. Herr Nacht talked Master Man into returning to the lab alone to fight Namor. Now, with Master Man out of the way and gone, Herr Nacht expressed his love for Warrior Woman and even persuaded her to leave him. Now, back in the lab, Namor was defeating Master Man and Dr. Kraus's thugs with the help of his cousin Nemerita, modern-day Union Jack, and the elderly Lady Crichton, who was the costume hero called Spitfire during World War II. Now, during the fight, Master Man inexplicably reverted to his true form as the weakling Willy Lohmer. At that very moment, Herr Nacht arrives in costume as the second Master Man, standing there with Warrior Woman by his side. Now, driven insane at losing his powers and being betrayed by his wife, Willy Lohmer flipped a switch and blew up the entire lab along with himself, Warrior Woman, and the new Master Man, and most of the thugs. No bodies were ever recovered. Now, after the explosion, Lohmer was found injured by one of Cable's acolytes. His powers were nearly gone and he had aged rapidly. Lohmer, however, had a change of heart while under the care of Cable's follower, now an old man living in Switzerland and wishing to make amends for his past actions. Now, he dies while shielding Cable from a bullet fired by a member of the organization, the Hellfire Club. Cable then buries Lohmer's body in the Swiss Alps. Now, the third Master Man was actually his grandchild and a neo-Nazi in a group that was given a watered-down version of the super soldier serum. Now, it didn't last long, and really it was kind of unimportant, so we're just not too worried about him. Now, as far as powers and abilities go with Lohmer, he was a moderately skilled hand-to-hand combatant, preferring to rely mostly on brute force during combat situations. He possessed various superhuman physical attributes as a result of being exposed to a version of the super soldier serum created by the Nazis during World War II. The formula also fortified Lohmer's body tissues, making him much more resistant to physical injury than an ordinary human. Lohmer could withstand powerful impact forces such as being struck by the Submariner, falls from great heights, exposures to rough temperatures and pressure extremes. Even high-caliber bullets or artillery shells would not be enough to injure him. Now, at his peak, he possessed superhuman strength, capable of lifting up to 50 tons. The Nazi formula also enhanced Lohmer's stamina to allow his musculature to produce less fatigue toxins during physical activity than the muscles of an ordinary human. Lohmer could physically exert himself at peak capacity for several hours before the buildup of any fatigue toxins that would impair him. Now, for some unknown reason, the formula also gave Lohmer a small amount of psionic ability, which he would use to levitate himself and fly through the air. In our opinion, there was a time every publisher was capitalizing on a villain that everyone could be happy to hate together. DC has their Captain Nazi and Marvel has their Master Man. We like seeing villains in our comics who can actually drum up genuine fear. It makes our heroes even better. Master Man was, for all purposes, a stronger, more evil doppelganger of Captain America, and that will always be awesome. He was a pretty good villain, and hopefully we see more of the Wilhelm Lohmer version somehow one day. Anyway, this is what we know of Master Man. You guys have a wonderful morning, a great night, an awesome evening, whichever. Please like, share, and subscribe. We really do appreciate that. Also, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think of this video, as well as maybe write down a character that you would like to have us talk about, and we'll see if we can't make that happen. As always, Excelsior.
Hello, monkeys.